Hey guys, it's been a while since we've kind of done a state of the channel, state of the stream, whatever you want to call one of these. I'm also only looking over here because I recorded this once and the goddamn microphone wasn't actually on. So we're good. I'm gonna move forward. I'm not editing this or anything. It's just kind of one take, and yeah, you get what you get. So like I said, it's been a while since I've given an update on the channel and kind of where my head is with things, and figured it's a good time because we do have some things coming up. Uh, First off, my Twitch contract ended on August, or rather August 1st or July 31st, really. I think it was July 31st at 11:59, whatever. That ended. So I don't have any more obligations in terms of monthly hour stream or anything like that, unless I agree to whatever their new ad incentive program is in the coming months, with which I most likely will. Those have like a certain number of hours that you have to stream to meet said programs. But for now, I'm not going to be signing anything until probably sometime this fall, October or November. The reason for all of that is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video. To take a step back for just a second, it's been about 12 years since we kind of started this whole live streaming thing, since I started doing shows. I think back then, Arena Cast, which was, the World of Warcraft podcast, which then led into StarCraft 2 and State of the Game and MLG and all that stuff. That was with about 2 years with MLG and StarCraft 2. And then we've been streaming on Twitch for about 10 years after that. I think I got partnered in 2012 as one of the first 100 partners on Twitch. I found the email. Back then, all I had to do was email someone. 3 hours later, I had a sub button. So things have definitely changed in the past 10 years. But within those, the 12 years that I've been doing all this, I haven't ever really taken a break. That is like an extended break. We've had like, a couple of days to go to Disney, or a couple of days to go to London to go to a creator's wedding. But apart from that, and apart from just like a random day off once a month or something like that, or if, I've hurt myself like I did this past week with a couple of days off there's never really been an extended break. So that's one of the reasons for this video, is that I'm going to be taking an extended break. It'll be starting on September 1st, and most likely we'll be going to the 15th of September. It might go a little bit longer than that, but the 15th for sure is the 2 week period that I'm allowing myself to just get off of Twitch, get off of social media, get away from the industry, and see how I feel. It's going to be a little bit of a weird adjustment period. There's going to be times where I just have no idea what to do with myself. So I'm looking forward to that, as well as having some time to do some other things, such as I'm going to clean up the basement. At the moment, my boxes have boxes. We've got too much stuff in there. Really me, Aaron has been asking me to kind of do this for a while now. So we're going to do a little bit of like spring cleaning, basically. Part of that includes deconstructing the current studio, what I guess was the role play studio at one point. And that goes both for the studio hardware as well as the studio walls themselves, which if you ever saw us do the 2 live shows I think we did out of there before we closed up role play, we have a bunch of wood kind of on some drywall. So I'm going to take all that down. Maybe therapeutic as well, kind of, moving past all of that and moving forward past all that. But I'm going to try and get all that done in those 2 weeks. I also want to take the existing studio area, once it's cleaned, and kind of make it something new. We want to do some unboxings in there, maybe a podcast room, a second streaming room. I'm not exactly sure what the plans for it are off the top of my head, but I want to make sure, if someone comes to visit, they've got a place to go and stream, and make sure it's a usable area rather than just kind of a place to store a bunch of statue boxes and hardware that I'm not using at the moment. So that's what we're going to kind of do during the break, as well as just taking time off. I also want to deconstruct this, not the shelves or anything, but the streaming area that I currently use, and change a couple things with the room, change a couple things with the desk, and just make sure things feel fresh when I come back. So part of the break, part of the reasoning for the break is that I want to feel rejuvenated with the work that I have with streaming and whatnot. Because I think I've been burnt out for about 5 or 6 years now, I would say. And that's not great. So I'm hoping that this break makes it so that all of that is kind of washed away, and I'm excited to, go to work and start streaming every single day. So what comes after the break? Well, I don't know. We've got some things planned, but the Twitch stream and in general, everything kind of around what I do on the internet, it's been a really weird place for me. I would say the past 2, 3 years. When we when we stopped role play, I didn't really know what I was going to do at all. And we kind of made it this weird situation that I don't think it ever really been a truth for the channel, with gaming being the core of what we do. That is, playthroughs kind of every single day. Started doing news with things like JPNN. We started doing this trailer time. I think gaming had always been kind of something that was celebrated and was talked about and adjacent to the channel, but it was never the thing. And I was never the star of the channel. We always had shows and whatnot. And so it's been weird because while doing all of that and doing things like JPNN and trailer time and still continuing to do drop frames and all of these different playthroughs and streaming every single day for anywhere from 4 to 8 to 9 hours, even more on some days. We've seen the biggest drop in analytics across my entire career in the past 2 years. And we're kind of at, what I would say is it's either got to get better or I got to go type situation in terms of supporting myself. And that sounds like a pretty grandiose statement, but it really is. I either have to turn the ship around or figure something else out at this point. So I think, to ruminate on that a little bit, Twitch is in this weird spot as a website in terms of discovery and growth, where playing games is not the avenue for growth anymore. Unless you're kind of someone that sits on top of a directory, with 10,000 plus viewers and can kind of take that community and go around and dominate the latest and greatest releases, you're not going to really see any growth. You're going to see stagnation, or you're just going to simply fall off. And so I haven't adjusted to that, so to speak. And I don't know if I will. Maybe if I can find a happy medium where I can continue doing what I want to do, and that becomes, profitable, and there's less volatility in all the numbers and analytics, then that would probably be the best case scenario. But it's part of what I'm kind of using this break for, is to actually be able to think about that stuff without also having to work at the same time every single day. I think your mental, your mind can get into some bad places while you're thinking about all that and also streaming at the same time. So that's what I'm doing the break for. We'll see what happens when I come back. We might shift away from being so gaming dominant. We might try and find, a handful of playthroughs every single year that I do 100% of the time, and the rest of the streams are something else. Whatever that is, I'm not sure. But unfortunately, the type of games that I generally enjoy, the JRPGs, the long grind fest, they're not the greatest for viewership. Most of the time, the best type of content, in terms of, you're saying best as in highest numbers or anything like that, it's typically stuff like this, where I'm just talking with chat and communicating with chat. The second that I swap over to a game, it'll drop off. That's kind of where I think most of Twitch is at as well. So been kind of rambling for a little bit. I don't really have much else to say on that apart from just repeating myself. So we'll leave it at that. I will say we do have one thing that I've been working on for, I would say, about 6 months now, kind of behind the scenes. Um, and it's probably going to be a major facet of the channel that we're looking to hopefully announce in late September slash early October. I'll be working on it somewhat over the break, and most of the work will be completed most likely when I get back. I'm not ready to announce anything on what we're doing. I have been saying we, so yes, there are some other people involved in it with me, but we've been building the whole process now for about 6 months, and it's getting exciting as what was once, an idea is now becoming a thing, a tangible entity. We're starting to see different artwork and logo and websites and all that type of stuff. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm excited to be able to tell you about all the stuff we've been working on, like I said, sometime in late September and probably early October. We don't have a launch date just yet, but when I do know, I will let you guys know and we'll start promoting that as much as possible and as big as possible. Finally, before we wrap all this up, I just want to say thanks. Past 2 years, like I said, have been a really weird spot. I appreciate everyone that's stuck with us and continue to watch and continue to support on Twitch. We have subscribers over there that pop up in the stream that have, 100 plus, 110 plus month subscriptions, which is just insane. As well as, a ton of people that are 50 plus, as well as new people that we're still, welcoming new folks in every single day, which is awesome. So if you've ever supported the channel or you've ever watched the channel in the past 2.5 years, I really do appreciate it. And I hope that when we come back, things are going to be back on track and it's not going to be, what has been presented, I think, in the worst possible way, really the past month or two, with whatever the content's been on the channel. I don't even know if I could call it content. I've basically just been kind of showing up from my point of view. But hey, if you've enjoyed that, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And I hope we see you after the break. We're not done yet, though. It's August 17th when I recorded this video. We still have about 2 weeks left on the channel where we're going to be playing some PoE on Friday. Next Tuesday, we got a bunch of stuff with Gamescom and Destiny 2, as we're going to be rewatching that on the channel. Probably try to sneak in 1 or 2 more Drop Frames episodes before I go on break. We're going to be doing some Lord of the Rings marathons. That's going to be happening on August 26th and the 27th. If you have Amazon Prime, you can join us. We'll be watching the entirety of the Hobbit trilogy on the 26th, and then the original trilogy on the 27th. Both of the trilogies will be the extended versions. I think they're broadly available according to Amazon, so I'm sure there's some country that's going to get screwed out of watching it, but we don't really know what that country is just yet. So if you want to watch those shows with us and get a little bit hype for the upcoming September Lord of the Rings stuff, feel free to stop on by. We're going to be doing it for about like nine hours on Friday and 10 hours on Saturday. There's a lot of Lord of the Rings. So also, if you have any questions or comments or anything that you want me to respond to, you can do so in the comment section here on YouTube. If you want anything like an actual conversation, feel free to drop on by the stream over at itme.jp and ask away. I won't ignore it or anything like that. I'll give you an answer, and I'll do my best to answer all the questions here on YouTube if there are a lot. So be patient with me, and I'm excited for the break, and I'm excited for whatever happens after the break. So that's it. That's what I got for now. Maybe not the most exciting thing, but I just wanted to let you guys know what is going on and yeah, where my head's at. So I'm out of here. Thank you so much for all the support, and we'll see where we go from here. All right. Bye-bye.